Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to WCFL DolFans Talk. Hope everyone's having a wonderful morning this morning. I'm Papa Paul. Let me bring on my co-host, Mr. Johnny O.
What's up, Papa Paul? How are you, brother? Good to see you.
Good. And next we have Mr. Derek Simmons on his way to an Orioles game.
What's up, Derek? How are you, brother?
Oh, I actually got up out of bed to get on. Driving to the O's game. Hope we don't get soaked this time. Went Friday and got soaked 20 minutes before we get in the gate. Storm opens up and we're just soaked. It's a good one. First fight.
Well, it's 10 days away and the schedule comes out.
Yep, I can start booking flights.
Yep, can't wait.
May 14th, right?
Yep, a week from Wednesday.
Yep.
Second round, third round. Yeah, Jason's getting ready to book his flights and everything too. So once the schedule hits, him and Jason and Derek are with me right now. They're in the backseat of the car here. What up, guys?
What's up,
guys? Fins up.
Yes, sir. Fins up. So yeah, I got 3 Dolphins guys going to our Orioles game. That's how we roll.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's always good to hang out with the family, right?
Right, and then we get to pick on all these Ravens fans down here. Tell them how Lamar can't throw a ball. They agree. And they agree. That's the crazy part.
So who do you want to win today then?
Well, I want the O's to win for sure. We're playing the Royals, but I'm an Orioles fan for sure. But yeah, I don't know. We lost last night with that rain delay and stuff, so I don't know who we got pitching. It's probably gonna be rough. We get the bats going. We're going down for the bobbleheads. It's Star Wars weekend.
Oh, nice.
I got a picture on the one post that I did. They had like one of the fighter jet guys dressed up, and then it was pretty cool. And then we got let's see here. We got Colton Cowser bobblehead. They even got them in like the cloak, and then they got the little lightsaber part that you can actually put on that added in like the little piece. It's pretty cool. And then we're getting Gunner today. So
how far of a drive is it?
It's about 2-hour drive for us. So the game's about as long as what we drive. The new pitch clock and everything. It's pretty quick now. It's pretty surprised how quick it is. So
yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. I've liked some of the videos I've seen coming out on just the different guys are at camp, the pre-camp stuff, the mini camp, whatever you stuff. You know, I know it's not all that. They're just getting together with the new rookies but I can't wait
right?
till. Well, the OTAs I haven't started yet, but it's just I guess a bunch of the guys got together with F1 going on and everything. They're all down there at the F1 this weekend.
Right. I seen a video of Justin Jeffries in the one car going 175 mile an hour.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. They tried to sell me a ticket, but Mr. Russell Hotman, how you doing, Russell?
Good morning, guys.
Russell.
Hey, good morning, Johnny, Derek, and Paul. How you guys doing this morning?
Can't complain, we're all here.
Right.
Everything's good.
Doing good, bro. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, brother. Mid-70s out here in Massachusetts. Pretty nice.
It's been raining here all morning. It just let up just a little bit ago.
Yeah, we
Same
had
up here. It's rained all weekend up here.
Yeah, we had some rain Friday night, like into early morning. It was pouring, but then it stopped. It's been good. It's been good.
So, Russell, how do you feel? How are you feeling with things these days?
I'm pretty good with, like I said, our draft. I mean, we just had the rookie camp thing. I mean, honestly, I think possibly, just going on what I've watched over, college football season and the unsigned guys that didn't get drafted. I like the tight end Conyers and I like the cornerback Adams. I think both of them could possibly make our 53.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Because I think that.
Sorry. Go ahead, Russell. Sorry.
I think that kid Adams is going to be a steal because he's actually he's pretty versatile. He's a physical player. And Conyers is a good tight end. I mean, you got Jonnu Smith. I mean, you got, Julian Hill.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be all right. But that kid Adams, he could be a steal. And they also got a couple receivers, like the kid Weiss that is from, I think, Missouri. He played at Oklahoma and Armstrong. I mean, we'll see. I mean, everybody looks good in T-shirts and shorts, like Johnny said at the Combine. That don't mean a heck of a whole lot because we've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
But I'm just going on tape from what I've seen in the college season. I think that kid Adams, he could be possibly a steal. And then I'm sure we're going to sign a corner somewhere before camp starts, a veteran, maybe Asante Samuel Jr., maybe what's his name, maybe Hilton. I mean, somebody's going to sign. They're talking about maybe Gilmore. I kind of really don't want Stephon Gilmore. He's kind of old, but I mean, you got to have a veteran. Obviously, you got to have bodies, but.
Well, if Gilmore's old, that's the one they'll sign.
Yeah, of course. That's our MO, Johnny. If they
don't want too much money.
Yeah, the old or injured, we'll sign them.
Yep, a 1-year deal.
I still like having a guy from Buffalo.
Rasul Douglas would be good. Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be bad, Rasul Douglas. But it all depends on money and what they, that's going to be the key thing. I mean, we can't break the bank. And I mean, like Papa Paul said before, you never know. We'll see what happens with Ramsey. He might end up being still on the roster. You never know. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we can't pay his contract, that's for sure. Like, we can't just trade him away and then still pay him $25 million. That I don't think we were making that happen. But
yeah, we're
definitely paying something for sure. I
got a funny feeling. I got a funny feeling he's going to still be on the roster because it's just how things go. I mean, this should have been done a while ago, but they dragged it out. And now you're going to be heading into the rookie camps. It was this weekend. Then eventually OTAs are going to start. Then you're going to have team group meetings. I mean, how do you got to address it at some point. But
yeah,
we'll see. That's all we can do.
Did you guys see, though? You guys see where the beginning of like the very first pre-mock drafts, pretty much everybody that the Dolphins got were all within the top 56 picks. 3 of the 5 were first-round picks. They had Grant going the first round. They had the guard going first round. Well, they were late first round, and Ollie Gordon going the first round in the pre-mock drafts, the very first one.
Well,
Well,
they can say they're going in the first round and all, and they can say, have them projected to go in the first round. A lot of things change. It's like I was told the other night. They sit there and grade these drafts as an A, a B, a C, whatever. Like we got average out of B, a B plus, for our draft and everything. But you truly can't grade a draft until 5 years later when they're down the road.
I'm gonna say something that my brother John E.O. said. Who gives a damn what those talking heads say? Because everybody's cut from a different cloth. Everybody plays different. I don't care about A, B through J. Who gives a damn? Providing we, in our first 4 picks, we get 3 steady guys that are going to contribute. I give a damn if you're in the 7th round or 700th round.
Hey, my brother in the back seat.
I'm sick of that. I'm sick of all these drafts. Mel Kiper this one, that one, this one. Who cares? We got what we got, and we got to deal with what we got.
Mel Kiper's an ass.
I'm tired of all of them. They're all sickening already, and now they already got drafts for next year. I mean, come on. You don't know if you're going to make it across the street today, and you're talking about 2026? I mean, come on. It's really
The reason I wanted to take positive out of that couple of the articles I read. I read 3 different articles. 2 of the 3 said that normally they're pretty good before your agents and your NL people, your boosters start trying to pump money into it to tell them to say, to move people around. You know what I mean? Whoever spends more money is going to get more notoriety, and then more notoriety that the school they're coming from is going to want to bring high school players in there to them. So I was trying to take it as a positive because, with them wanting to do it before any money got sent into anybody, that made it look better, and then they started changing around once the money started coming in, trying to endorse these players a little more for their schools. So I was kind of that's why I was reading in the articles. They said it's actually better to see what was happening, but at the first where they where they thought.
A cool thing about that, Derek, the draft reminds me of when we all can agree to this. We've all been to a record store. We've all liked a favorite group. And say your favorite group puts out an album. We all going to have a different view of what we thought about the album. That's the same as the draft. If, God forbid, Michael Jackson, Prince, whoever it was, put out an album, you might say, I wasn't like I thought of. Johnny might say, I liked it. Paul might say, well, I'm not too keen on it. That's all the draft is. It's no different from everybody's opinion on a certain pizza or a certain food or a certain fruit. We're all going to have different views of it. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong. But I hate when you head towards a draft. You got 900 people with mock drafts, 900 people with different versions, 900 people with different views. It's all going to be the eye and ear test. If you can play, you can play. You can't, you can't. I'm sick of, this guy says, their draft's an F because blah, blah, blah. And they should have done. Well, guess what? There's 31 other teams drafting also. There's 31 other teams with different dissenting views, different needs, different ideas on what they think is a great player. Because everybody has a miss. I don't care who you are, whether you're an artist, whether you're a plumber, everybody has a bad day. Everybody has a pick that didn't work out. It is what it is.
And like I was saying, you truly can't grade a draft until after 5 years down the road when you see how all these people developed or didn't develop.
Right. Yeah. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Baseball does it the right way. They draft these kids, they go into A-ball, AA, AAA, and then when they're good enough, they move up to the major leagues. The NFL needs some kind of feeder league, whether it's the spring league where they let all these, you got guys on these spring teams that are out of the NFL, but they're playing. No, give that shot to the young kids, the 21 to 22-year-old that just got out of college. Let them try to prove themselves so that an NFL team will then pick them up. If the NFL had some kind of feeder league, some of these kids that don't even get a shot might actually turn out to be pretty damn good, but they went to a small school, they didn't get the recognition, nobody's backing them, nobody's putting in their NIL. It's to me, it's amazing that the NFL, with all the billions that they make, has not done some kind of feeder league yet.
Yeah.
I agree. Baseball, they got it right in baseball, I mean,
I
he's
think
got the Orioles got some of the best hitters, prospects. We can't get any pitching, but some take a little bit of time to gel, and then you can bump back down, like to our AKA practice squad. Like for example, we had a guy named Jackson Holiday, came in the league, 20 years old, came up last year for a little while, struggled severely, so they bumped him back down to AAA. He starts rocking it out again. They bring him back towards the end of the year, and now he's doing decent. And there's nowhere for these guys to go. Let them keep playing. Once you go to practice squad, you're not getting any playing time. You're just kind of just there, and you're just a dummy, and that there's no places to put them, to let them keep training.
All right.
I think Johnny was right. We should have an NFL like a feeder league, like a AAA, and nowhere the perfect place where it would be. They should put it in Europe and do it in the spring. That way, you can have maybe an 8-team, 10-team league. You could hide guys. You can get guys playing at 20, 22 years old rather than throwing them to the wolves in the NFL. And then similar to like the minor leagues, you can bring somebody up, you can put somebody down. It makes me laugh. We have a 53-man roster, and by the end of the season, those 53 are totally different because we got banged up, injuries. The NFL should go up to a 58-man roster.
No, it should be. No, Russell, what the NFL needs to do is go to a 65-man roster or 68, no such thing as practice squad, just 65 or 68 guys on the roster, and every week before the game, you got to turn in your 5 healthy scratches.
Yeah, that would be great. You know what? Those owners are tight. Even all the money they're making is still cheap. They're thinking about their bottom line. They don't even increase to 55, let alone to 68. And you are right, Johnny. We should have a bigger roster because it makes me laugh. They say, well, you have to have an emergency quarterback. Well, what's the emergency quarterback going to do? Or similar to
a punter
still
paying for the practice squad too. So
yeah,
I don't understand why they just don't let them be on there.
Well, you know what?
They're bumping so many players in and out now. You know what I mean? So why don't we just keep them on the active roster? You're still paying them the same amount of money almost, I think, right?
Well, they're making league minimum.
Yeah, they're league minimum, and they're getting like $2,500 a week unless they get pulled up onto the roster, and they have a base salary. So it's similar to like a person having a weekly job, because not everybody in the practice squad's coming and playing every single week. So they're not going to pay you $300,000 and you're not playing.
Hey, I'll go to the practice squad for $2,500 a week.
So would I.
Well, you know what it is. That's what I'm saying. It's funny that people like, those guys they're practicing during the week in the event of somebody gets pulled. Johnny strained his hamstring. He's not going this Sunday or Thursday or Monday night. So they bring that guy up. He has a stipend check, but he's on because you notice there's teams that could take somebody off your practice squad. John has a punter for the Colts injured. They say, Miami's got a punter behind. They can take him and add him to the active roster. He's no longer on your roster. So, it's a mess. It would be better with a bigger weekly, team, 65 maybe, like Johnny said, 68. But I know these owners, as much as they're getting, they're still cheaper than hell. They got TV deals. They got concessions. They got everything going their way. So they're not saying, hey, well, we got that extra tackle. And the punter and the kicker are useless because what do they play during the game? 7 snaps, hypothetically, where you could use a tackle or a backup running back or an outside linebacker. A punter may punt 3 times in a game sometimes maybe 8. 8 plays? Really?
Hey, sometimes they don't punt at all.
Yeah. You remember our punter, he didn't punt in the game where they scored 70. So you're not telling me you couldn't have used an outside linebacker, a defensive end, or a corner. But you got a punter sitting there drinking Gatorade, shooting the breeze with girls in the front row, and you lost the tackle, or you lost the tailback, or you lost the outside linebacker. You can't make that up.
Papa Paul, put Scotty's comment back up there. It's a very good comment.
It's not the owners holding up the roster expansion. Players don't want it because that means less revenue share for the current 53-man roster.
Which he's right. I mean, it all comes down to money, but that's where, that's where your cap guys come in and they're making league minimum being on the on the practice squad, they barely make anything. If they get pulled up, they're getting league minimum. So, it's there's got to be a way, and especially if they're going to go to 18 games, you got to expand the roster. This 53-man roster, it's been that way since it was 14 games, 12 games. Now you're at 17. You got to expand the roster, and I get it. You have to have the money to be able to pay these guys, but damn. You get some. Look at San Francisco last year; they were decimated by injuries by the end of the year.
Same thing with Detroit. They lost all kind of guys. Similar to us, the year that we lost to Kansas City in the playoffs, we were signing guys off the street the week of the game.
Yeah,
Yep.
They signed Ingram. They signed Bruce Irvin. They signed guys. You're like, what?
And plus, we had no money left in the cap. Even if we wanted to buy somebody, or bring somebody in good, we can't afford $55-60 million contracts with an 18-game schedule, and they only pay, like two if he gets hurt. You can't afford him to only play 12 games. Then you got to bring somebody in off the street, somebody, like we did last year. It was bad. We have no money to pay anybody.
The funny thing that people don't realize, and this is classic. I used to go to the Dolphins camp in Davie when my uncle Clarence was a coach of the defensive line for the Dolphins. And they would be practicing July and August in blazing 100 degrees, maybe 103 on the field. Here I am in the VIP drinking water and juice, and I'm looking, and it's like 100 cars crashing into each other every single play. But yet the NFL doesn't seem to think that this takes a toll on people. And then by the time the regular season comes, you got guys beat up from July, August, September, October. When the season's underway, you don't have no complementary pieces for this. But yet they want to scream and holler about adding an extra game, but not realizing that these guys are beat up. By mid-season, that 1 week bye, that's okay. Depending on when you buy. Some teams get it after week 4, and then they go 8, 11, 10 weeks without a bye. Some teams are fortunate. They get at week 10 or 9 or whatever. So people don't realize the physicality of it all. And then you got meetings. Then you got to go through therapy. And during the week leading up to another game. You remember the week when Tua got hurt? They were like, oh, well, we shouldn't have Thursday night games. Well, who's that? Whose fault's that? The NFL is not going to let money slip through their fingertips. Whether it's Sunday, Monday, Europe, Spain, Portugal, wherever they want to play, they're seeing the dollar sign. They're not seeing that, hey, Paul got a strained Achilles on Sunday and you want him to play Thursday night in 3 days, or Paul injured his groin and he's got to go in 4 days. And then they have Saturday games at the end of the season. Nobody realizes how beat up these guys are. But yet, let's add another game. Really?
Well, they're adding another game, but they're just taking away from preseason. You don't have.
Yeah, that's understandable, Paul, and I mean, I'm sorry, John. That's understandable. Yeah, they take away a preseason game, but the point is, it's the beat up guys, regardless of how much you're working in preseason. Like I tell people all the time, you watch baseball. Baseball, they play 162 games. They have like a 25 game spring training. Those guys ain't really informed till like June, because it's still like you're playing in cold weather. Some teams. I saw watch a game the other day. It snowed. I mean, it's May now. It's cold at certain sites. Certain sites are indoors. Certain sites aren't. These guys aren't in tune. You're playing every night. You're traveling. The NFL obviously is a once a week, but I mean the physical toll beats on these guys. And then the NFLPA, they're going to be like, oh, if we're playing an extra game, we want more money. And who pays that bottom line? The Pauls, the Johnny O's, the Derricks, and the Russells of the world, because now your tickets are going up, or now your expenses are going up. We're not in the NFL. I mean, the consumer suffers, not the player.
As long as people are still buying tickets and still buying gear, the NFL is going to keep making a ton of money.
Oh, yeah, there's no question in that. The brand is never going anywhere. I mean, I was telling people before, don't be surprised when you'll see a Super Bowl overseas. It's going to happen.
I was just thinking that, Russell. It's going to make them a lot more money. They're going to.
It's going to happen. You're going to see a Super Bowl in both teams is going to be a neutral site, whether it's in London, whether it's I don't know where. But I'm saying within the next 4 to 5 years, the Super Bowl is going to be overseas. You've
It's good. I think
seen.
it'll be London. I think it'll be London before anywhere else, I would imagine.
Don't be surprised. It's going to come. It's going to come down to a bidding war. Somebody want to have the first ever Super Bowl overseas. It's going to happen.
Think of the amount of money they're going to make off that too.
A killing. You're already hearing right this year. You got what? 3 games in England. You got 3 games in Germany. You got a game in Spain, and possibly Brazil. I think it is. That's a lot of sites for teams to be going all over the place.
Is Brazil this year or next year?
This year.
Is it this year?
Yep, you got the Dolphins are going to be playing in Spain. I think there's 2 games in Germany. I think there's Jacksonville's got 2 games because they're considered the home team in England because their owner is from England. So they're going to have 2 games in England, and I think there's a game in Brazil again. I think. I know there's
We're up to 10
Spain.
to 12 games, right? International right now.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
And Goodell's already saying that he wants up to 16 games international.
Yeah. So, and I mean, you remember when it first started, there was a game in Mexico every year, 1 game in Mexico. Then it was 1 game in England, 1 game in Germany. Now look, you got games everywhere. They want a game in Ireland. They want a game there because Steelers.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's getting to the point where bad enough that you're playing a game overseas and then whoever those 2 teams played, their following week, they have to have a bye because you are not going to go, God forbid, to Germany and you're a West Coast team. And then all of a sudden you're playing on West Coast time or an East Coast game. So they're trying to balance it where it's more regional. Before you know it, there'll be a game with 2 West Coast teams in Japan, hypothetically. Or they're talking Australia. They're talking about a lot of sites where the regular consumer, hypothetically, the Dolphins play in Australia. How many people go to Australia? There'll be a lot. There'll be more West Coast Dolphin fans than hypothetically us who live on the East Coast flying to Australia to go see the Dolphins play in Australia. Right now, we're playing in Spain this year. Don't know who it's going to be, but there'll be a lot of people going to that game. No different from the gang of Dolphin fans that went to the game in Germany. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't have a game periodically, but I mean, come on, man. It's getting to be crazy.
Yeah, 'cause that's the goal when Goodell wants 16 games. Every team's going to play there at least one game, whether you're home or away. And look at the market that's over there for these soccer players, like their football. You had like Messi and all them guys making billions of dollars over there. That's how he comes over here and buys a whole team and opens up everything. And the money over there is just ridiculous. And then they see that market. It's greed.
Well, the funny thing with that, Derek, if you look at the Premier League, you look at the Bundesliga League, you look at the La Liga League, all those major soccer leagues, half those teams are owned by Middle Eastern people. So they can throw money around like crazy. Like you see boxing. Boxing used to be 3 cities in America? It was Vegas, New York, and LA. Now where is it? Saudi Arabia.
Yep, it's all that oil money over there.
Well, yeah, so it's not hard to go tell somebody, hey, Derek, I know you're going to make a title defense against A and B in Las Vegas, and they're paying you $5 million. Well, guess what? We're going to pay you $30 million to come and fight in Saudi Arabia. You're going to turn down $30 million? No.
Yeah, but no, that's like the same thing with like the wrestling stuff with that TKO that bought out WWE. I know they forced Vince to sell because his stupid stuff he was doing, but they're talking about they're putting all these pay-per-views in other countries, and then like when we want to watch the pay-per-view, we got to watch it at 2 or 3 o'clock during the day. People working at they don't care. It's about the money, and people are complaining about it, but they're getting money elsewhere, so they don't care.
All right, I'll give you another little sidelight. How about this? When we were all younger, we watched football. It was on CBS, NBC, ABC, and a Sunday or Monday night with Howard Cosell and Dandy Dawn and Frank Gifford. Now, little do people know, Fox contract is coming up. They're going to be eliminated, so you won't be seeing games regularly on Fox anymore. CBS is renegotiating. ESPN's trying to get in. Prime, Amazon Prime's buying out. Netflix is buying out. So before you know it, the average fan who would turn on their regular nationally televised game, wherever part of the country you live in, whether it's Fox, CBS, NBC was the Sunday night games, will be eliminated. Now what do you do?
I don't know if that's ever going to be eliminated. Because, I mean, they're going to that stream and they're trying to double dip, but I think the day that it goes completely off regular cable, like for the local markets, it's going to be tough because
it's not going to be. It won't be tough because people who purchase things were going to change rules. So if John bought a car, he decides what color he wants to paint the car. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what Paul says. John bought the car. John makes the rules. Amazon Prime's in it. They have the worst announcing whole setup. It's terrible. But that was the regular Thursday night, regular TV, ESPN. Now you have to pay for Amazon Prime. No different from Netflix with Monday Night Raw. If you don't have Netflix, you don't see Monday Night Raw unless somebody posts it later or whatever. But
right.
the regular consumer, the A's and B's and C's of the world are going to suffer because it's all about the dollar. You remember when
so much money? If they lose that money from the actual cable, it's still the revenue. It's still the most revenue, whether you're the streaming or not. They lose that. Everything else, they're going to need the streaming stuff to, it's going to double and triple the price just to get the money that they're getting now. That's what I'm saying. Right now, it's still the number one revenue for them right now. For the NFL.
You remember when you would just turn on TV and you could watch whatever? Like I said, regardless of where you live in the country, you watch regional football, the nationally televised game, whatever it was. If you see how from 10 years ago to where we're at presently, you remember it was all Sunday Ticket, Direct TV, and this one, that one, and this one. You know how high it's gone up from Direct TV to YouTube TV to whoever the new kid on the block is spending money.
$450 now.
Yeah. Now I used to get Sunday Ticket. It was $128 when I first started it to watch Dolphin game. Now they want to do it because they got sued. Now the NFL wanted a package where people can individually just buy their game.
Yep.
Rather than have every single game. So Johnny lives in New Jersey. I live in Massachusetts. We want to see just Dolphins. I don't want to see the Bengals or whoever. I just want to buy Dolphin games. They're deciding on single packages for single fan groups. How expensive you think that's going to be?
Oh, it'll be a couple $100 just to get your game.
Yes. And that's where I'm saying how they're weeding out certain groups because it's coming down to, hey, they know, hey, John lives in Montana or Russell lives in Wyoming. He ain't seeing the Dolphins on. Whoever the closest regional game to that state, that's who you're going to see other than the nationally televised Monday night game or the nationally televised Sunday night game. So if you live in a region where you don't see the Dolphins, like I live in Massachusetts, you honestly think I'm turning on my TV Sunday afternoon and I'm watching the team that plays here every Sunday? Hell no.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, doing something else.
Yeah. And I mean, as fans of the sport, you have to suffer. But I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm not watching that team with the Elvis crackhead emblem on their helmets with silver. No, I'm not doing that.
Well, hey guys, I'm going to jump off here. I just wanted to come on for a bit. I don't have a charger for my phone, and I got to make sure I get us in the game with the tickets and all that stuff. So everything's mobile and digital. So
how do you travel with no charger?
Well, I'm not in my car. I'm good. Yeah, they might have something here, but I don't want to risk it.
Go Royals! Go Royals!
Oh, man, you knock that off there, Russell. You knock that off.
Go Royals!
Enjoy the game, guys.
Yeah,
good
thanks, guys. And,
good seeing you, Derek.
Yep, good morning, y'all, and y'all have a great day. And peace, love, fins up, guys.
Peace, love, and fins up, brother.
Go Royals!
Go Orioles. Later, Russell. Bye, Paul.
Nice talking to you, brother.
See you, buddy.
Yeah, it's always a good time with you guys on Sunday, boy. Whew.
So I'm having an issue here.
Yeah, you keep fading in and out.
Yeah.
Well, my computer is on the glitch. I had a different way, so I'm in twice right now.
Ah.
You sound like you're driving through a wind tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or delayed telecast.
Let's go. I mean, we've talked about it a bit. We're gonna go call it another day. See if I can get my computer fixed up and everything, so I'm ready for Wednesday night. Russell, we appreciate you joining us. Johnny, as always. So,
All right. Peace, love, and fins up, all.
Peace, love, and fins up, my brother.
y'all have a wonderful night.
You
All right,
too.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network on Roku and Fire Stick. This is the first place to find all the latest NFL news, trades, and rumors. If you have a Roku or Fire Stick, access your menu and locate the search bar to perform a channel search. Then simply type in Huddle Sports Network. After completing the search, this logo should appear. Then add to your menu and you're good to go. We cover all your football needs, from breaking news to trades and rumors. So join us and enjoy the sport we learn to love so much. So be sure to add Huddle Sports Network to your Roku or Fire Stick menu and keep informed of all your football news and needs. You can also find us on Facebook and of course YouTube. Thanks for supporting our journey and our passion for football.